Collected from the bin, here are our beans that I've cooked and peeled. Ready to show you an amazing salad that you can easily do with these beans. For the dressing of the bean salad, I'm going to go in with about 2/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. And then you would put in about 1/3, I like a little less, maybe 1/4 of a cup of sugar of your choice. You can use honey here, you can use brown sugar, white sugar. I'm going in with some homemade maple syrup. So we've got the maple syrup here, and that's what I've put in there. So just 1/4 of a cup. I don't like it too sweet. We're going to turn that on just to a medium high to get it warmed up, and then we're going to thicken it up with a little bit of a slurry. So a little bit of cornstarch and a liquid. So the cider vinegar and the maple syrup's in here. I'm just going to go in. I've got a cup of pineapple juice. And this dressing, we're only going to use some of it for the bean salad. You can put the rest of it in the fridge and keep it for later. Great on top of a spinach salad or romaine, whatever you like. Throw in a little pineapple mint in there and perfect. We have a rolling boil. So here I've got 1/4 cup of water with a tablespoon of cornstarch just to make a slurry and to thicken this up. So just see how much you need. You don't have to pour it all in at once. This will be a salad dressing, but it will congeal it quite quickly once it cools. And I like it a little bit thick for a salad dressing, so I'm actually going to pour it all in. So there's all of it there. It turns clear quite quickly. Just coming in there. Again, if you're not sure if it's cooked, just give it a little taste and you'll know by the starchy flavor if it's not done. All right, so that is cooked up. We're just going to pour in about 1/4 of a cup to 1/3 of a cup of olive oil. There we go. And that's going to make that dressing nice and smooth. Now if it separates, you just give it a little shake up or a little stir up if it separates in the fridge or whichever. All right, so that is cooked. I'm going to turn that off there. Let it cool just a little bit because we're going to pour it over top of the beans and the veggies, and I don't want it to cook the vegetables. I want it nice and crisp. So this has come together. I've cooked it. I'm going to go in with a little pinch. I have red pepper flakes, just red pepper flakes, and just a few of those. Depending on the heat you might like, you can also put in fresh jalapeno or both, a little bit of hot pepper flakes or jalapenos. But I've just thrown a little bit in there just to give it a touch of heat. So again, use your judgment on what you like for heat there. Okay, so normally I would put in a little bit of, or quite a bit of fresh cilantro, but I don't have, so I'm just going to use the dry cilantro leaves. Probably I don't know, 1/4 of a teaspoon. But then I also have some fresh pressed cilantro, a paste. So I'm going to put in probably a teaspoon of that. And then also in the dressing, some lime juice. So I'm going to put in a tablespoon of lime juice. And then the juice and zest of 1 whole lime I'll put in with the vegetables. Just give that all a little stir up, and those dried cilantro leaves will rehydrate a bit in that. Just a little fresh lime. I'm going to zest right on top of the beans here. So these are the beans from the farm, fava beans, that I soaked and then popped all the peels off of them and cooked them. So they're still fairly firm. They're not mushy. They're not overcooked like the ones where we had used for the bean dip. So we're just going to put in some lime here. I'm going to make the dressing for that. But a little fresh lime zest goes a long way in flavor. All right, so I've got that. Now I'll just juice that lime. And then just give it a good roll on the countertop here. Cut it in half. And this will kind of start flavoring up those beans. This is kind of a Mexican style salad. And I mean, you can put anything in there. If you don't want to go through the work, again, kind of like the peas in the farm pea video, you can go to the store, obviously, and just use canned beans of whatever sort you like. Pinto beans, turtle beans, doesn't matter what you use. If you don't like beans, you can use a pasta, you can use orzo, you could use couscous, you could use barley, anything like that. Wheat and barley, I do a similar dish like this, but today we're going to use the beans. I'll just trim up some of this. This is just parsley, flat leaf parsley. I'm going to roll it together here, make it a little bit easier. And just give it a little trim. Chop it all up fine. Now, if you like it a little more coarse, you want a little more color, go ahead and leave it coarse. I don't really want the big pieces of leaf in it. So we'll just go ahead and give that a bit of a chop. And I think I've got everything else prepared that we can just assemble this salad. And then it's perfect because you can make this one ahead, leave it in the fridge, and it's ready. Doesn't matter if you're going to a potluck or you want it ready the day before. The longer it sits, the better flavor it's going to have. All right, so as I always do in my videos or just at home anyways, I picked too small of a container for what we're making because we always grow. So here we go. I'm going to dump that in. I didn't do anything different. Just got that lime juice and zest and just going to switch up bowls. All right, so we have beans, lime zest, and lime juice in here right now. You could take lentils, store-bought, in a bag, hard lentils, cook them and use those just as I did with the beans. But I have some canned lentils. It's quick and easy. So if you wanted to make this salad, you could make it in under 10 minutes if you didn't want to go through all the work of obviously peeling your beans and cooking your lentils and beans. So you can do it the slow way or you can do it the quick way. So if you were to just have canned beans, you dump your beans in there. I've got these red lentils. Put that in there, about half a cup, closer to a cup. I've got some black beans. You can use turtle beans, whatever you like. Now I have some finely chopped celery. That goes in there. And all of these are about half a cup bowls. And then we've got some red pepper, bell pepper. You can use any color you want. You can use any kind of vegetables you like. Oh, I forgot my corn. I'll go grab it. Now I've got my corn. Okay, last addition here is the red onion. And we'll just give this up a little toss. Look how beautiful that color is. It's going to be a bright vinaigrette on top of there. All right, my last little touch here. We put the pineapple juice in the dressing. And now I'm just going to go in with a bit of mango. Really just changes this whole dish. And it has, if the mango has a bit of starch, which this one doesn't, it's very ripe, finely chopped. If the mango has a tiny bit of starch, that vinaigrette will definitely finish it off and take away any of that starchiness. Now, that looks like summer in a bowl to me. Okay, so we have this dressing that we've made. I'm going to pour it over the top. Now, you can pour excess amount and drain a little off if you like. But that is what's going to marinate this salad so nicely. You can cover it up, marinate it for at least 2 hours. And we'll just put in that fresh flat leaf parsley and stir that in. Adds an earthy aroma and that little extra garden flavor. Last step before it goes in the fridge, a little salt and pepper. It just brings out, especially the flavor of the mango, that salt just draws it out. All right, I think that's it. Enjoy your salad, everybody. You could also toss this in with some pasta and make it a pasta salad. So many different variations. If you make this and want to know any other ways that you can change it up, just send me a message and I will help you out. Just give it a good toss up. And then you can cover it, put it in the fridge. You could eat it right away, but it won't have the same flavors. I'm just gonna cover this up, put it in the fridge, and it'll be ready for dinner time.
This is truly a dish that makes these beans shine.